Michael Patrick Shields is on the air.
Good morning, world.
Good morning, Michigan. A very rainy. That's a good start. Very rainy. Maybe the phone lines are wet. A rainy Thursday to you, Michael Patrick Shields, heard all across the state of Michigan, live this morning in our American Metal Roof studio, if it doesn't float away. We're right down from the Capitol and the Gillespie Group Stadium District building, and Tiger game was canceled yesterday. It might happen again today. Apparently the streets over in Detroit are flooded, and maybe you're under your umbrella this morning. Get you started this morning with a weather forecast, because everyone is saying, my God, it's the end of May. When is summer going to get here? Is it ever going to be warm again? Because right now I'm pretty soggy and I'm pretty gray and my mood is getting difficult. I want some summer. Well, the holiday weekend is upon us, Memorial Day weekend. Let's check in with meteorologist Robert Shields and find out if he's under his umbrella and whether or not we're going to have some decent weather coming soon. Robert?
As you work your way through your Thursday, keep this in mind, and I am not joking. It really is going to be much warmer this weekend. Here is your forecast for pure Michigan. Cloudy and cool today. Scattered showers and thunderstorms will hold high temperatures as much as 15 degrees below normal, near 60 degrees in mid-Michigan. As for the weekend, make your tee times at Tullymore, gas up the pontoon at Houghton Lake, get the cooler cleaned up and ready to go. Highs will be in the 80s by Sunday. I'm meteorologist Robert Shields. Back to you, Michael Patrick, a guy who makes his snowmen on the golf course.
Very, very funny. Thank you very much. The man accused of gunning down U.S. Representative Gabrielle Giffords and killing 6 has been ruled mentally incompetent to stand trial. According to a judge yesterday, U.S. Marshals had to drag the would-be killer out of the courtroom because he had an angry outburst. Survivors of the deadly January attack, which took place, as you remember, in a shopping mall parking lot, Jared Lee Luffner lowered his head, raised it, and what sounded like saying, "Thank you for the freak show. She died in front of me." His words were loud but mumbled, and it wasn't clear who he was talking about. He wore a khaki prison suit and had bushy reddish sideburns. He's 21 years old, and you've seen his face on television, that just frightening picture of a bald guy with a sort of freakish look in his eyes, and he must have scared the hell out of everybody in the courtroom yesterday, and the judge said, get that guy out of here. We're going to take him away. So apparently what they're going to do is send him to a federal facility. He's going to be examined, and they're going to try to determine whether he understands the consequences of the case against him and try to restore his competency for 4 months before they put him back on trial. Brian Morley, who was in law enforcement and now is an attorney with Frazier, Trebilcock, Davis, and Dunlap, is with us. Good morning to you, Counselor.
Good morning, Michael Patrick.
Well, this is, this is disturbing stuff to a lot of people. It's obvious he shot those people. It's obviously he killed those people. He's still acting like a maniac. I mean, what else do you need?
It's disturbing, but I think for a variety of reasons, it's not that big a deal. Very, very rarely does an insanity defense work. From what I understand, neither side believes he's faking. Both sides stipulated that he needs further treatment, which is interesting. But you got to harken back to Hinckley is a good example. Hinckley was found competent to stand trial despite significant issues, and then was found, I think, guilty but mentally ill at trial or something to that effect. So the statistics are very low as to whether or not an insanity defense works. At this stage, it's just protecting his rights, making sure under a relatively low standard that he understands who the judge is, who his lawyer is, what's going on, can he assist in his defense. So, and during those 4 months, they have the opportunity to rehabilitate him, if you will, and get him to that point so that he can come back and stand trial.
Who cares? I mean, I don't mean to be, who cares about his defense? It's obvious. They know, everybody saw him. They know he did it. What defense can there possibly be?
Then I'd be out of a job. That's why
I know, but the money that we're going to spend and waste on someone who, it happened in January. He's brought into a courtroom in May, acting all freaky and saying right out loud, thanks for the freak show. She died right in front of me. I mean, I'm surprised one of those marshals didn't take him out on the spot right there.
On a personal level, I don't disagree with you, and I'm always curious as to whether a person in an incident like this is faking it or grandstanding or words to that effect. Mm-hmm. But like I said, it's a broader picture. We wouldn't want to convict somebody who's simply incompetent. I don't think he's going to be found incompetent. I think they'll end up finding that he does have issues, but they can get him better, and then we'll get back to trial. And this is merely, I think, a blip on the radar screen.
We'll get him better. I mean, what can you do in 4 months to get somebody better?
That's what I'm saying, though. We got such a low standard. It's not get them a lot better. It's get them. Do you understand, sir, who the judge is? Do you understand who your attorney is, and they can use medication to that effect? So it's not. We're not rehabilitating him and correcting his entire life. We're making him good enough to sit in trial.
They hauled him out of the courtroom, calmed him down, brought him back in, and they told him, you better behave or you're going to view the proceeding on a TV in another room. And he said, I want to watch the TV in the other room. I don't know if that's because the families were there or what it was. But, you know, we're talking about some pretty ugly, ugly stuff here. It was a meet and greet event, and a 9-year-old girl was one of the people killed. It's just awful. It turns me. Speaking of John Hinckley, the man who shot President Reagan, do you know that he walks free most of the time these days?
Do you ever hear about what he gets to do? He found a girlfriend he's in a facility, I think, in Maryland or Virginia, and he found a girlfriend there. He's allowed to spend significant periods of time with his family, 2-3 weeks at a time, off campus or off the facility. I got to believe Secret Service is all over it. But, yeah, this may be... It may be a gap or a loophole in the system.
He's sort of in a halfway position. They let him go home for 2 or 3 weeks a month, and then he reports back in.
And, like a college student.
Yeah. And I guess, you know what, that we're talking about 1981 or something like that took place where he shot the President of the United States. But these days, I mean, I don't know, you go away for life for that? I guess maybe not. The President didn't die after all.
But I think we had the same situation there. As you recall, and we're dating ourselves a little bit, he had significant delusions with Jodie Foster and that.
Yeah.
But they found him competent. He was sent for an evaluation similar to what Mr. Loeffner's going through, and they found him competent, brought him back, and tried him. So it's a step in the process more than an unconscionable loophole, I think.
I wonder if he goes home to his parents and has bought the Jodie Foster box set of DVDs, because we didn't have DVDs back then. I wonder if he's Facebook friend her yet.
I got to believe, like I said, you and I probably would never know about it, but I got to believe Secret Service is all over that.
All right. Thank you very much. We'll continue to follow this disturbing story. And I do mean disturbing. Every time they put that guy's picture on the television, I have to look away because it is a frightening picture of the man who shot U.S. Congresswoman Gabrielle Giffords and killed some others in a mall parking lot in January. Now deemed unfit for trial, going to be sent to the facility. See if they can get him going again. In 4 months, we'll see. It's Michael Patrick Shields, Michigan's Morning Show.